Greetings and salutations, friends. I am Numithrandor, and today we're picking up here in Simulanka, in Constellation Metropole. And while we could carry on with Navia and her quest, I think I'm actually going to continue on with the Historian. The three clans trying to figure out which of their histories was correct. So far we found one answer, but we have to see if any of the others hold any truth to them. A bunch of chests up ahead.
The party finds no pedestal in which to place the great clockwork key, only a locked door.
Where's your clan's pedestal? Let me guess, you hid it away in advance to save yourself the embarrassment of having it exposed as a fake?
You done? Okay. Now, since my clan's main claim to fame is...
Misinformation, half-truths, and fabrication.
Ah, shut up, Cafe.
Shut up, Cafe.
Glad to see the narrators pitching in. And I have to say also, shut your mouth, Cafe. You had your chance, now it's time for him.
I swear, if I wind up dead one day, the murderer was Bobarano. Let those be my last words.
My clan's claim to fame is that we outwitted the dragon of old and stole its treasure. Ergo, all articles of value that we own, including the pedestal for the clockwork key, lie behind that door.
So, next step is open the door?
Almost. There's one step before that. The door is protected by a smart interrogation system. We have to answer its questions, and if we get them wrong, we will alert law enforcement.
Jeez. Well, do you at least know the answers?
The correction fluid of time has dyed white the pages of the Book of Wisdom. No, I don't know the answers. But worry not, I had a quick word with the constabulary in advance. They'll ignore the alarm if we get the questions wrong, so answer without fear.
I suppose that's a sensible way to go about it, but I have to wonder whether or not your interrogation system will still react negatively to incorrect answers in another way, apart from bringing the cops. Oh well. Knock knock.
Question 1. Who is it?
Marquis Numithrandor and his retinue.
The great yokai, Nekomata in boots.
And the trusty travel guide, Pixie! Travel guide. Trusty travel guide!
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
Well, they gained their wealth after deceiving the dragon. Courage and strength granted them the goddess's blessing. Now I wonder, are they referring to the defeated the dragon, not stole from it? So that would be courage and strength. Bobarano's ancestors tricked it to steal its wealth, not to defeat it per se.
Oh, no, don't say that. Even though the writings you saw do prove that bravery has its uses.
You do realize we can hear everything you're saying, right?
If you say it out loud, you'll only set those three off arguing. Thinking it is fine, but please promise me you won't say it.
Okay.
Question 2. By which virtue did the ancients defeat the dragon?
Okay, so it's... okay, wisdom.
If this is the right answer, I swear I'll...
Correct!
What? A barefaced lie. So
Question 3. Which is more real? The fiction of the outside world? or the truth of this world?
What? I'm gonna say both are real. I'm literally standing here, so it's kind of hard to deny the reality of this place.
Hear, hear! Who can be sure that the outside world isn't just a dream, and that when the dreamer wakes up, they won't just find themselves inside a novel? There is no way to know, therefore both are equally real.
All correct. You may have the key pedestal.
I see.
Traveler Marquis, you know what must be done. Please insert the great clockwork key. Oh, and this is my family crest.
Ah. Alright. Simple enough. Okay. Alright. So where do we actually start this one?
Do we really need this one?
Yeah. Kind of. Okay. Oh. Well, we got a treasure chest.
Now, let me see what...
What elaborate fiction the Clan of Wisdom was able to conjure up.
If anyone's listening, I would like to submit these as my last words. I surrender. I'm the one who murdered Captain.
Okay. Got us manuscript 2. Wise Antonio, in the basement of the crumbling house, began reading the ancient book he had found. His oil lamp shook from time to time as the swaying structure above ground collapsed. The village was to be symbolically raised by the dragon, and he had been chosen by the dragon, for he had not returned home. But Antonio did not care. He only wished to study the book the old lady had given him on the bridge he passed today. This book was titled The Radiant Charter, and within the region, all the rules that every being in Simulanka must follow. It was written in the language of world's creation at the very start, and if Antonio was not possessed of extraordinary wisdom and deciphered this primordial text, there would have been no study to be had. This book recorded no solutions as to resolving the difficulty that Constellation Satellite presently faced, nor did it contain any hexes that could aid Antonio in repairing his own home. But he knew that wisdom was the mightiest thing in the world. The morning light shone through the ruins of his home, and the neighboring blacksmith and chubby chief took great pains to get rid of the house's wreckage, which blocked the basement hatch. With dark circles about his eyes, Antonio said to the chubby chief, "I shall defeat the dragon. I will return soon. Are you sure you're all right? You don't look like you got any sleep." Just smoke from the oil lamp, don't worry about it. The dragon sat atop a mountain of treasure, gazing down at insignificant little Antonio walking closer. Flames gathered in its throat, preparing to burn the area 1 centimeter before him, all the better to scare his puny, foolish creature away. Halt! I am a qualified second-class maester. The Radiant Charter states that should I refuse a duel, you cannot use force. This restriction did indeed exist, and so the wicked dragon swallowed its flames whole. Ah, how it dreaded going to the toilet tomorrow. Antonio, for his part, had not expected that the second-class rust-clearing maester qualification exam he had taken on a lark would come in useful. Okay. And since I am a second-class maester, I propose a duel of riddles. You cannot refuse. Now, Simulanka had just such a law, mainly for the benefit of sphinxes, old sages, and princesses who wished to make life hard for others. The evil dragon had not expected this rule to catch up with it. I shall ask the first question. My house sold for 8,000 mora yesterday, but I thought there was room to raise the price, so I bought it back for 9,000, planning to sell it for 10,000. How much mora did I lose in the end? The dragon laughed in contempt. What's so hard about that? You could have waited until it hit 10,000 to make your move, but you sold for 8 and bought for 9, so you lost 1,000 mora that you could have earned instead. Wrong. You burned my house down yesterday, and I couldn't sell it in time, so I've lost far more. Sorry? I mean, I do have to burn a house, and you happen not to be home, so I might as well hit one that doesn't result in any loss of life. Now that you've lost this contest, I have the right to loot of the same value as your life, minus 1 mora. And considering that you've burned my house, I can seek damages. Let's assume that my house is worth just 1 mora. Well then, wicked dragon, you know what to do with yourself. Please spare me. I'll give you anything. Your words, not mine, Antonio said, as he pulled out a contract he had written long ago. Thus did Antonio use his wisdom to take all the evil dragon's treasures. The dragon, devastated, would never again return to attack Constellation Satellite, where Antonio lived. Many years later, a child asked Antonio, "You sold your place for 8,000 and spent 9,000 buying it back, so it looks like you actually did lose 1,000 mora." Okay. I suppose I shouldn't have been surprised. But the dragon, fearing the toilet the next day after swallowing his fire, did catch me off guard a little bit.
Look! My clan's history is true as well! There's that same unforgeable signature again, right here!
What? Oh, does this mean that my clan is the only odd one out?
Oh, don't rush. I'm sure we'll find a document similar to these last two to exonerate your clan. And your clan will have defeated the dragon in some other manner, I suppose.
Given that my clan's wisdom is such a subject of ridicule in your eyes, I will now appeal to my own personal intelligence, which I believe far surpasses that of my clan at large, and make a prediction.
Good way to throw your entire clan under the bus, Bobarono. Especially if the next words out of your mouth are stupid.
It seems likely that the claims made by each of our clans regarding their history and virtue are all true.
Bobarano, how can that be?
Oh, I get what's going on. Once, when I was drinking with Gujiyai, she bet me a round of dried fish that I couldn't guess which cup the umeboshi was under. Whichever one I guessed, I was always wrong, and Gujiyai would lift a different cup to reveal the umeboshi. But then, I learned later from one of the shrine maidens, Miyuki, that all of the cups had an umeboshi under them. Just goes to show, I still got a long way to go before I become a great yokai.
Oh, don't mind Fox Lady. That's just her way of teasing you.
Actually, that reminds me. We can now open these 3 treasure chests. And unlike the guessing game you mentioned, this one's not a trick.
Cool. Well, once you've plundered the last of Bobarano's family wealth, we can go to my clan's place.
You sure you want us to...
Guess I'll take the clockwork key again then. Yoink!
You sure you actually want us going there now, considering that we are plundering the wealth of each of the places we visit?
For you.
And the precious chest also. Okay. Let's make it daylight out again. It just seems appropriate for the summertime major event. Let's see. Oh, actually relatively close. Let's hope we don't accidentally trigger Navia's quest while we're at it. Treasure again.
Wow, what a lovely surprise.
Oh. And we have a fast travel point, so we'll grab this right quick. Yoink. And now be on our way. Giant guards. Well, then again, we did find a giant during the last episode, and we had to lock him in place with glue.
The cohort of truth seekers followed Albizzi to his clan's sacred site. They arrived to the site of a giant guard towering over them.
Up ahead is my clan's gigantified guard. He can be a little pig-headed, and he's incredibly strong. Your weapons won't even scratch him.
Wait, but wasn't Kappei's clan the one that's all about strength? So, what do you guys believe in then?
Oh, the guard is one of Kappei's people. Size is a coveted trait in the clan of strength, after all. Mine is the clan of empathy, and our key contribution is growth serum.
What's empathetic about that?
Our ancestors believed that, just maybe, the dragon of old didn't mean us any harm at all. Perhaps the dragon simply didn't notice us, since we are so very tiny.
To be fair, it could be considered empathetic to provide a means for another to achieve their wish. So, Kappei's clan loves their strength, and so Albizzi provides them with an elixir to make them stronger. Again, granting someone's wish can be viewed as an act of empathy or sympathy. So, in that sense, I guess it works.
So, they drank the growth serum and grew even larger than the dragon. Then, they set the dragon down, calmly explained their perspective, and eventually taught it how to empathize. The serum isn't what it once was, though. Nowadays, it doesn't make you grow all that much, and it actually makes you lose your empathy. So I advise we take a detour.
Despite Albizzi's words of caution, somebody, no doubt, has other ideas. Surely we could avoid a conflict with the guard, they think to themselves, if we could just try to understand one another. You could, of course, just take the path to your left and go around. But some people are gluttons for punishment. It's all part of the experience, I suppose.
Path to the left, you say? I'm assuming you mean this way. Yep. Let's see. Any treasure? Oh, there's actually nothing. Oh well. Let's work our way around.
Why is my own clan treating me like a villain?
You've been away too long. We all have. Feels like we've been waiting forever.
I suppose I did find you all locked on your own on in the cave. So how bloody long were you there? Could be literal centuries. I don't know how long you guys live. And with fairy tale rules in place, you might have been immortal as long as you were in the cave. So the rest of your clan might not even know who you are. I don't know. Well, looks like there's the key. The keyhole.
We should be getting close.
Why is this place so full of junk? Are you the kind of people who never throw away the box when you buy something because you're worried you won't be able to return it without the original packaging? We'll never find the Oracle Pillars in all this mess.
Never mind that. We have a more pressing issue. It seems there's a slight problem with my clan's family crest. The Marquis may need to utilize their wisdom to solve the issue.
Oh. Oh, hold on. Parts of it are missing? That's very small. I wish I could zoom in on that. I can move it up and down, but I can't zoom in. Well, it looks like it's very simple, but I guess we'll have to see, won't we?
Wisdom too, huh? Well, you guys have a bit of everything, don't ya? Except empathy.
Okay.
Over. Yes! Keep the noise down! We don't want to alert the guard.
Hopefully it won't be a problem.
I'll go keep watch.
Okay. Oh, there's a... I see.
Can't you destroy the boxes a little more quietly?
Okay, as ever. Why that one? Okay, not quite.
Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty? How could they let something so important get so dirty? Apparently that was incorrect. But don't blame yourself, it's Albizi's clan's fault for taking terrible care of their family crest. How could they let something so important get so dirty?
And we got it, eventually. Blimey, that was more annoying than it should have been.
This is the last one.
Goddess's Manuscript 3. Galileo and Alberto did many good deeds again today. Though it was most tiring to help the old lady on the bridge move her barrels of hard apple cider, they each got a small barrel as their reward. The moonlight was unobstructed and beautiful, and the two good friends climbed up the high wall that had been built to stave the evil dragon off. Alberto lost the rock-paper-scissors match, so he had to hold the barrel of cider under the crook of his arm as they climbed the ladder. Look, this is the big house that our chubby chief was so proud of. Doesn't look so big from here, huh? Said Alberto, as he looked at the house. You're wrong. That's my home, said Galileo. The chief's house is that one. Alberto's night vision was not all that good, and moonlight could never compare to daylight. If one were to close one's eyes, the light could not be seen at all. He tried a little harder, but could discern nothing more. But it's also really small, Galileo continued, so there's nothing wrong with your statement. Galileo and Alberto were both rather perceptive people. Galileo's reply covered for Alberto's discomfort. That's a C in the front or I'm blind. Regarding his poor vision. While Alberto also lost the rock-paper-scissors match on purpose so that he could carry the cider barrel because the gears under Galileo's ribs were injured. Here's to you. The two friends raised a toast once Alberto stuffed a cork back into the barrel. The next day, the two gathered everyone in the village plaza. First, they apologized for the collapse of the anti-dragon wall, and told all the people that they were preparing to have a talk with the evil dragon. I know it was a lot of work for everyone to fix that wall, but we're not that fussed about it anyway, the chubby chief said. But are you sure you're not bragging when you say you knocked it down yourselves? Of course, that was not the chief's point. He too was a good person. He continued, also, it's too dangerous to seek the dragon out. Don't worry about us. And so the two best friends in the whole world departed. The evil dragon trembled before Alberto and Galileo. For some reason, the old lady's liquor could make people grow very, very large. That was how they accidentally squashed the high walls the previous night. As they gazed down at the ground far below, they more or less understood how the dragon thought. No wonder it could accidentally destroy the village at its feet. So long as they could get the dragon to notice people, they could surely come to an understanding. The two friends thus drank all the remaining magic cider, becoming even larger than the dragon by a good margin. Reeking of alcohol, they sandwiched the dragon between them and drunkenly tried reasoning with it. The dragon shriveled up in terror, all of its majesty and fell aura forever gone. Indeed, it even looked kind of pitiful. Alberto attempted to pick dirt off the scales on the dragon's back, but wound up picking off an entire scale. The dragon sought to flee, but Galileo, fearing that the crisis might persist for 10,000 years more if the misunderstanding was not cleared up, tugged its tail and dragged it right back. To be honest, we've always lived under your feet, but we are far too small, and you may not have ever seen us. Now we've transformed and become big, Galileo said. So now surely you must know that we dwell at your feet. The dragon nodded repeatedly, and thus did the two and the dragon chat all night, and believing the goal of mutual understanding achieved, the two set off along the road home. Yeah, more or less what I'd come to expect by now.
The signature. So it's true. Empathy is one of the founding virtues of Constellation Metropole, too.
Just as we suspected, all three are the truth.
Okay. Well, this is a lot to process. I feel a little empty inside. Yes, we found the truth, but there's too much truth.
I get you. It's like in Inazuma, when there were only 6 books in the Mirage Warrior series, it was really popular. But by the time book number 88 came out, nobody wanted to read it. And all lost interest.
A brief moment of joy is drowned out by a growing feeling of melancholy. But perhaps there is a glimmer of hope to be found too? Anyone? Anyone? All right, I'll say it. How is it the case that these 3 versions of history can all be true at once?
That's exactly what Paimon was wondering, but Boborano kind of already explained it away earlier. So Paimon was worried she'd look stupid for asking the question.
It's not a stupid question at all, my dear little pixie. While I did postulate that different truths may coexist, there is an issue when it comes to these 3 truths in particular. The problem is, all 3 truths are the history of the exact same thing, namely the dragon and the Metropole's origins. Yet all 3 bear the signature, showing that they're genuine.
Suddenly, the sound of a bell rings out.
The bell! It rang once! What does that mean again? Ah, yes! Highest level of emergency! Everyone, to the main entrance! Stat! Bring all the glue traps and place them outside the gates!
The whole city is on the lookout, and there's only one way out. It's the path right in front of you.
Okay. This ought to be a fair bit more straightforward.
Also, why is 1 ring the highest level of emergency?
Obviously because you have to respond fast when it's an emergency. It'd be a bit too late if they waited till the 99th ring.
Ay. You know, 3 rings can go relatively fast. Okay, let's see if we can't make it out without getting glued down. Okay.
We made it out. Don't know if we'll still be needing this clockwork key, but I yoinked it out before we ran, just in case.
Okay, but back to the truth problem. There are 3 conflicting versions of the truth, and somehow they're all still true. What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I doubt anyone here in Simulanka can make sense of it. All we do know is that any manuscript bearing her signature has to be valid.
Well, she is the goddess of fate, the creator of all this. And all these manuscripts are her grand design.
The reason we argued about who was right was that we didn't know enough about the truth of the past. But now we have the truth. So we just have to accept it. As surely as we will follow the clockwork path designed for us, so is this the course that history has taken. It is clear and incontrovertible.
We will never argue again. Thank you all.
Is that all there is to it? Is this where the decision made at the first crossroads of destiny has led us to? A pointlessly happy ending? Overthinking it would be equally pointless. Well, that's enough for one day. Time to take a break.
Could you be any more cryptic? You're planning something. Paimon knows it.
Whatever happens, today was a breakthrough in my journey of discovery. I will go back and share it with my clan.
Me too.
And me.
Let's leave it there for today then. I'm sure we'll find out what else Mr. Narrator has planned for us tomorrow.
We shall see. Oh, and we really will have to wait till 8 a.m. tomorrow. Well, in that case, I think I'll call the video here. And we'll get back to this at 8 tomorrow. So, if you've enjoyed this, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And do check out my Elden Ring playthrough. You'll find on my channel a playlist for that, and for Shadow of the Erdtree in particular, if you only wish to see the latest DLC content. But regardless, I wish you all a good day.